Well, good morning, fellow constitutionalists, and these are my morning thoughts for Monday, August 17th, in the year of our Lord 2015. Last night I was on Facebook and I was talking to a couple young ladies I know from the church, and they were praising the fact that someone shared on Facebook about, college should be free, and they like what Bernie Sanders is saying. And I asked a simple question. I always ask questions. I said, who's going to pay for this free college? They couldn't answer me. All they could do is point to other countries and say, well, this country or that country, mostly over in Europe, their tuition costs are a lot less than ours. But my question still stands. Who pays for the free college? It's tax dollars. It's taxpayers that pay for the free college. Now, they were saying that schools paid for from kindergarten through the 12th grade. And whether you agree with that or not, I think as a society, we should be schooling our children, whether it's through public schools or private charter schools or homeschooling. We need to educate our children. And I dare say a lot of the homeschoolers in the charter schools, parents have to pay out of the pocket for that. And I think that's right, and I think that's fair, that the parents should pay for the children's education. But I also do agree to a certain extent about public schools as long, and I want to put this caveat in here, as long as they're controlled by the public school boards and there's no strings attached to any funding coming from the federal government. Schooling is not a proper enumerated power for the federal government. It never has been. It should never be, because we see the skyrocketing costs. Every time there's an increase in the grants and tuitions that are quote unquote given free by the government, the cost of tuition goes up at the colleges. They're not dummies. They know that they can make more money off of the government if they increase their tuitions. But getting back to my original point, these couple young ladies, they were lamenting the fact that education costs too much. And I said, why can't you learn what you want to learn on the internet and then go test out? One of the other folks that was in the conversations has checked that out, and a test out for college credits costs like $75 for a test. To me, that's totally reasonable. If you really want to get an education and you don't want to go through the traditional way of getting it, then yes, that's a way. That is a way you can do that. I could do that. I could probably test out on several subjects if I wanted to. The only problem with college is you got to be careful, because they want you to do all the fluff and stuff, the liberal arts end of it, instead of dealing with your actual vocation that you want to be educated on. And the other point I want to point out, I don't know where our generation went wrong, because these young ladies are old enough to be my daughters. They're of that age. I don't know where our generation went wrong in teaching our children that it's okay to work hard. If you want something, you're going to have to sacrifice a little bit for that. You're going to have to do something in order to obtain that. And they were lamenting the fact that, oh, woe is me, I'm only making so much money. And they were also commenting, because I had made some comments about where I'm at in my life. Now, I'm 53 years old. I'm more than a couple times older than they are, or at least 2 times older than they are. And I didn't just have my house handed to me. I didn't have my automobiles handed to me. I didn't have my style of living just handed to me. That was something I went out and I had to earn. And yes, I started off in my career, my working career, back when I was 16 years old. I've been working steady probably since before then, but actually making a paycheck since I was 16 years old. And no one handed anything to me. I've earned everything that I have in life. I've been blessed by God for everything that I have. And I'm not ashamed of that. But my point in saying that is, yeah, you're going to have to work hard. Oh, okay, so you're barely making a living right now. You need to get it on in your head that just because you have a degree on the wall doesn't mean you're going to earn a living. Go look at the stats. Look how many unemployed bachelor degrees there are out there. And I gave the example, my last job before they downsized my division, I was the highest paid, by far the highest paid. I won't say how much further, but I was by far the highest paid person in my office. And I was actually the second youngest as far as seniority. There was one guy below me, and I was the second youngest in seniority, yet I made more money, way more money than everybody in there that had a college degree. That's because I spent 15 years driving truck. I worked my way into an office up in Metropolitan Trucking. I taught myself computers. I taught myself dispatching systems. I taught myself how to dispatch. I taught just about everything that I learned either by myself or I asked people and they showed me. I wasn't lucky. I worked hard. I put some sweat, blood, and tears into this to get to where I'm at today. And I'm sorry if our children, like I said, I don't know where we went wrong, where our children think that everything's going to be easy, everything needs to be handed to them, and they think that something free from the government is actually free when it actually is not. Free is not free. Somebody has to pay for it. Bottom line, somebody has to pay for it. So if you want it, go out and get it. If you don't know how to get it, find people like mentors. I'm willing to mentor anybody, but find people that can be your mentor to help you out. Open doors for you, make introductions for you, try to help you find out where you can get these things done. Don't just sit there and think, oh, woe is me, I'm on minimum wage and I can't do anything else. My dad told me one time, I'm going to share this with you, the only person holding you back is you. That's it. The only person holding you back is you. These are my morning thoughts. Have a great day, and we'll see you later on the show.